Yeah, how many of you know I made this video the last time in response to my friend Simon K. Though Simon K might have watched it, but he decided not to respond because at least he got a sense from what I'm saying. But some of you will come on that comment section and be saying rubbish. Sometimes I will just read some comment and I'll just be laughing. It's not being emotional. But just because of those of you that are emotional, please listen to this interview by Barrister Darlington and hear from that journalist that is interviewing him what they have to say about this whole thing. Then it will start making sense to you that what Emefiele is suffering is a failure of his financial coup against the Nigerian politician. If that coup did not fail, you guys would have thanked him. But the coup failed him. That is what he's suffering from. But watch this interview and drop your comment.
But Barrister, how can one man, one person amass a property to the tune of 753 buildings, a large estate to that amount? Even the president in Nigeria, I've never had it in the history that a president owns that number of property, that large. How was he able to do that under his principal, who was the former president of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari? Why did he not find out? Or how did that happen? How did that building come to this level and nobody saw it, or he didn't raise an eyebrow at any point, sir?
Some people have much more than that in this country. In cash.
Oh, in cash.
Yes. If you quantify the amount that is they used to build that property, some people have it in cash somewhere abroad where they kept it for safekeeping. The money they stole from Nigeria, they kept it there. And the money is cooling off there. This 6.9 trillion naira budget that we are talking about that they padded.
Barrister, I think we'll get to that. We'll mention something about that.
So what I'm saying is that we should not be deceived that Emefiele is a big thief here. Because the court have not even, the needful have not been done. So EFCC is trying to avoid mentioning the name of the owner of that property. I think so. EFCC, they want to be clever by half. That's why they don't want to be open about the owner of that property. I don't believe Emefiele owns all those things.
You think?
I don't think so.
Do you think the former president's hand is
well, because I remember
somehow? When
the Buhari was in office, he said nobody should take Emefiele to court to arrest him.
He said he was the one who keeps approving everything under. So that is his principle, that he gives him go-ahead order on what to do and what not to
nobody, even when the forensic audit was done at CBN and the Buhari's name came up prominently, nobody questioned it, nobody invited him to court and all that. So some people have much more than that, though. Money they stole from this.
But
country.
Why hasn't the former president been questioned? Especially over this Emefiele's case. So because there is no way you'll be able to prosecute Emefiele or judge this case holistically without mentioning the name of his principal, the person he takes orders from. Right, Barrister? Am I right?
Yeah, very correct, yes. Under vicarious liability. I mean, the Emefiele is just a messenger. The real principal is Buhari, who owned up, who accepted that yes, everything Emefiele did in office, that he approved it. So the question now is, why EFCC not calling out Buhari's name? At least go and investigate him. Invite him for questioning. Even if you don't want to prosecute him, but you can see Buhari is now above our laws. Buhari has become so big that our laws cannot even address any infraction he committed. That is the Nigeria we are in.
You think that has anything to do with party affiliation?
It's not.
Let's assume Buhari was of an opposition party and the current administration is of a different party. Would he have been questioned?
I don't think so, because there is one useless law in our constitution that covers them. Though it was a military, provision. But civilians are now using it to cover themselves. That's Section 6. That no president or head of state, that's how they put it, head of state. will be prosecuted in court for action